This is News 3 Now at 6.
And thanks for joining us. 2 inmates who escaped from the state's maximum security prison in Portage are in custody tonight. Officials say they showed up at a nonprofit in Rockford to get some food this morning, and the founder acted quickly to notify police. We have team coverage tonight.
Amanda Quintana explains why a kitchen worker at the prison is suspected to be involved in the escape plot. But first, we'll hear from the woman who law enforcement are applauding for recognizing the fugitives and making the 911 call. Gabriela Becerra is live in Rockford now. Gabby?
Charlotte, around 8:30 this morning, the 2 escaped inmates knocked on the door of Miss Carly's place in Rockford, Illinois, and almost immediately founder Carly Rice says she knew she had to call the police.
They were only wearing thin thermal shirts and gray sweats, which I recognized to be prison issue. So already I had a flag raised, and when they took off their mask to talk, it was just one of the regular COVID masks. I was like, holy cow, this is those prison escapees.
Police say they arrested the pair with no complications. Once in custody, police identified them as Thomas Deering and James Newman. One of the inmates says he isn't who they say he is, but today in a press conference, Rockford Police Chief Daniel O'Shea said his tattoos confirmed his identity. They will be held at the Winnebago County Jail until Columbia County can transfer them back to Wisconsin. Police are thanking Miss Carly for her hand in helping get these inmates back in custody. They say it was model citizenship, and Carly says that she's hoping to write to the inmates and offer them support in prison. Amanda Quintana shares more on the Columbia County investigation.
Deering and Newman are back in custody, but there's also a third person in custody. Deputies say last night they arrested a worker at the Columbia Correctional Institution. This is 46-year-old Holly Zimdahl. She was a civilian kitchen worker at CCI and now facing a charge for being party to the escape. Today, Sheriff Roger Brandner said evidence linking Zimdahl to the escape was found in her car, her home, and on her. But investigators are still trying to find a connection between her and Deering and Newman, who were cellmates. They didn't know each other before meeting at CCI.
I don't know, what she was thinking or why. She's a kitchen worker. She has access to inmates there, obviously. We're still looking into exactly when that connection was made, what other inmates are involved, and if there's any other staff involved.
Sheriff Brandner says it's surprising and concerning that the 2 were able to get over 2 large fences at a maximum security prison. They tried to use clothing and other items to support themselves to get over those fences, but both inmates were injured. Deputies are still looking for other people who helped the 2. Someone picked them up in Point Net on their way to Rockford. Detectives are still looking for that person and any other prison staff who might have helped them escape. Once they're both sent back to Wisconsin, they will likely be split up and sent to other prisons, not going back to CCI.
A 33-year-old Janesville woman is dead after a rollover crash last night in the town of La Prairie. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says a Buick LaCrosse was headed south on Reed Road when it crossed the center line, entered a field, and overturned several times. The driver was ejected from her vehicle and was later pronounced dead after being airlifted to the hospital. The crash is still under investigation.
All right, let's check your first warn forecast now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, this morning we missed some snow to our south. There was a little bit along the Wisconsin-Illinois state line, but most of the accumulating snow is in Illinois. Now you can see on visible cloud track, the clouds starting to break up to our north and west. And as they clear to our south, you can see that swath of snow on the ground across southern Iowa and much of northern Illinois. Doppler track right now, though, shows things pretty quiet across the state. The snow from early this morning pushing through Michigan and now heading out into Ohio. Current temperatures are in the upper 40s. Madison still just shy of 50 at 48 degrees. It's actually has been a little bit warmer to the west and northwest, where there's been a little more sunshine. But tomorrow morning, look for clear skies. Temperatures will drop down into the lower 30s. But tomorrow will be a sunny, windy, and milder day with high temperatures close to 60. Looks like we'll see milder weather for next week as well, but also some chances for showers for the second half of the week. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. The Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development says it's making progress when it comes to processing unemployment claims. Adam Duxter joins us now with their message to Wisconsinites who are still waiting. Adam?
Eric, more than anything, DWD Secretary Caleb Frostman says he wants people to know if they qualify for benefits and they've applied for them, those benefits are coming to them. Now, he says early on in the process, call centers were getting up to 160 calls per second, but since then they've recruited more than 200 new employees and made improvements to IT and telecom devices. In addition, this week Wisconsin repealed a one-week waiting period, which Frostman says will make an immediate difference.
Know that we have hundreds of employees working overtime to process paperwork, to get back to folks, to expand our capacity to answer calls, to make calls. And so we're working as hard as we can.
And slowly but surely, those payments are going through. Frostman says as of today, the state has paid out close to $40 million, and that goes to close to a couple 100,000 people. Coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear more from Frostman, as well as what the DWD is doing to keep on in this process.
All right, we'll keep updating. And Adam Duxer live tonight. Adam, thank you. There are now more than 4,000 confirmed cases in Wisconsin of coronavirus, more than 200 deaths. The new numbers are an increase of about 150 cases and 25 deaths since yesterday. Health officials said Milwaukee County contains roughly half of the state's total cases, with 2,055 as well as 120 deaths. Dane County, 359 confirmed cases and 17 deaths. New at 6, U.S. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue announced a new program tonight, the Coronavirus Food Assistance Program. President Trump directed the USDA to create the $19 billion immediate relief program. A release from the USDA says it will provide critical support for farmers and ranchers, maintain the integrity of our food supply chain, and ensure Americans have access to the food they need.
First responders across the state are hoping the legislature will come back and change part of a bill signed into law earlier this week. Amy Reed shows us why local police say the way it passed does not support them.
Originally, the bill would have allowed first responders to bill workers' comp if they came down with COVID-19, assuming that if they contracted the disease, they likely got it from work, which doesn't always allow for social distancing. But a last-minute change removed that, leaving the Madison police chief frustrated.
All the sort of anxiety and stress that everybody's dealing with in terms of these sort of unprecedented times, the officers are dealing with as well in their personal lives.
Madison Police Chief Vic Wall says he's doing what he can to keep his officers safe.
But then they have to come to work.
So far, protections have worked. No one at MPD has tested positive. If they do, Wall said the new law would make it difficult for them.
The current state of the law in terms of workers' comp and what the expectations are just simply aren't workable. They're not feasible for first responders, especially for police officers. And I think we really owe them more.
Originally, the bill assumed if a first responder contracted COVID-19, they got it at work. An amendment Assembly Speaker Robin Voss added on the floor requires the officer, firefighter, or EMT prove it was work-related with a positive test result from a person they had contact with at work. A difficult task, Wall said, considering testing is limited. That person could be asymptomatic, and the process of forcing someone into testing is cumbersome, to say the least.
That was pretty disappointing, because the original workers' comp provision is actually one that I had made a request to my colleagues and to the governor to put in there.
Senator Andre Jacques has pushed on workers' comp for first responders before. He doesn't get the reasoning of the amendment, and if he could, he said he would introduce a bill to change it. But right now, he's dependent on the Assembly wanting to come back and change this or anything else he wants to see the state do. And while he has to wait, law enforcement does too.
For those officers that may contract COVID-19 or other first responders, I really think that we owe more to them and have to demonstrate that we're going to support them if they say.
We reached out to Speaker Voss for clarification on the amendment, but he did not respond. Earlier this week, leaders from both parties in the Senate showed some interest in coming back and passing more relief for the state, but so far nothing concrete has been announced.
Interest in a rally at the state capitol next week is exploding since Governor Evers' extended order to stay home. The rally to reopen Wisconsin is scheduled for next Friday. According to the Facebook event, 700 people said they plan to attend on Thursday before the announcement to extend safer at home was made. Well, now more than 2,700 people have marked they are going. Evers and state health officials say their actions have been guided by the science and what steps are most appropriate to save lives.
An update from City of Madison officials. The downtown City-County building will be closed to the public until further notice starting Monday. This is to support social distancing efforts. There's a drop box located outside the building for payments or letters. That's intended only for residents who aren't able to call, email, or mail their documents. Coming up next at 6, we've heard a lot about the protective gear, or PPE, that's keeping our healthcare workers safe. But where does it go after it has been used? We'll hear from local hospital officials about how that equipment is safely disposed of. That's next. Stay with us.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
The way you get through hard times is to hold strong to your values. At Group Health Cooperative, our common values have sustained us for over 4 decades. Now is no different. We are here, in our clinics, but we want you to be safer at home. That's why GHC has more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
My dog wants a yard.
Love it.
And another dog.
Have you looked at houses yet?
Not yet.
But that's good. I learned from Summit that it's better to start with a pre-approval anyway.
Right. Yeah. You can decide how much you're comfortable paying each month and then back into your price range.
Oh, and start putting the difference between your rent and your future mortgage into savings.
With Summit Credit Union, you might be more ready than you think.
I think it's great. Summit helps people build confidence and knowledge to move forward. It's your money. Own it. Summit Credit Union.
Together, we can do this. Our spirit is what unites us. It is what bonds us and reminds us we are all one. Which is why if you need a vehicle during this time, we are offering 0% financing for 84 months with no payments for 90 days. And the ability to shop and buy from the safety of your home. Better days are ahead, and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram will help you drive forward.
The pandemic is causing an increase in medical waste in parts of the world. China not only had to build more hospitals to accommodate a surge of patients, but they also built new medical waste plants to burn the toxic trash. It's a medical process many of us will likely never see. But Jamie Perez shows us what happens after that medical waste leaves the hospitals.
We've become very familiar with the medical gear that hospital staff wear, but what we aren't familiar with is what happens to it after it's tossed out.
I think the good news is that it's not treated any differently, which makes life a fair bit easier. It's pretty easy to kill that virus, so we can follow our normal protocols.
Jeffrey Pothoff at UW Health said the process starts with safety measures at the hospital.
Designated areas that are donning and doffing, so where we can put it on, where we can take it off.
Then they work with a company called Mary, based in Wanakee, where they properly sterilize and dispose of the waste.
Steam gets injected and then it moves underneath microwaves, which also provide more heat. So we heat this waste up to over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. The process takes about 60 minutes. And when it comes out the end, it's deposited into a compactor and it looks like confetti.
Jim Fitzpatrick is the CEO at Mary. He said the reason medical waste can't just go in the trash has everything to do with protecting the environment and the general public.
So we protect the air because we're disinfecting the material and the exhaust air that comes off the facility. Water that might come in with our system is going down a drain. That material is being disinfected. And then the waste itself that goes to the landfill is completely disinfected before it's deposited into the landfill.
And right now, they're actually seeing 30% less medical waste than usual, even in the midst of this pandemic. Here's why.
We have decreased a lot of those non-urgent, non-emergent procedures, many of those being cases that are done in the OR or procedure suites where we would use PPE to protect the patients and our staff. Since we're not doing that, and we haven't had a large surge of COVID-19 patients, our medical waste is actually lower than it typically would be.
Regardless of how much waste they're seeing, their only concern is making sure the final steps before ending up in a landfill are done right. In Madison, Jamie Perez, News 3 Now.
UW Health, SSM Health, and Unity Point Meriter all use Mary to properly dispose of their medical waste. Mary visits those hospitals every day to pick up that waste and dispose of it.
Teachers and staff from Royal Oaks Elementary School in Sun Prairie are doing something good and bringing a little joy to their students. They hosted a Safer at Home car parade for students. Teachers drove the parade route and waved to students in their driveways. Principal James Ackley says this was a way to let students know teachers are thinking about them and miss them.
Well, like most elementary schools, or for that matter, any schools, we're a tight-knit community. You know, I mean, you think about it, you spend 8-9 hours a day, 5 days a week with these kids and these adults, and all of a sudden you go down to 0 in person. So it's a big adjustment.
The Royal Oaks mascot, Rocky, was there too. The principal says the parade route was quite long, but they wanted to make sure to reach the largest percentage of students possible.
All right, coming up in sports, an update from Badger wrestling coach Chris Bono about using video calls for recruitment and how his wrestlers are staying optimistic during the pandemic. And we're in for some nice weather this weekend, including some sunshine tomorrow. Gary will have the details in your First Warn forecast.
Here at Weedman Lawn Care, we believe that your lawn should be a place where memories are made, a source of pride, relaxation, and fun for the whole family. That's why we proudly offer a child and pet-friendly program, so you can enjoy a healthier, greener, weed-free lawn without sacrificing peace of mind.
Our program offers effective, targeted weed control, and our golf course quality fertilizer creates a beautiful outdoor space. Don't your kids and grandkids deserve a Weedman lawn? Trust the lawn care experts. Trust Weedman.
More than 70 years ago, we at Festival Foods began serving this proud state, building strong relationships founded on trust, compassion, and our unwavering commitment to ensuring that you and your family feel at home every time you visit Festival Foods. It's times like these that remind us that family and home are what truly matter most. So we're using this moment just to let you know that Festival Foods is here for you, because family always looks after family. Be safe, Wisconsin.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. For a hand up and help with your utility bills now during these difficult times, contact the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
From our family to yours, we want to encourage you to keep going. Keep protecting what's most important. Keep hopeful in the face of all this. Keep believing. Keep being strong. Keep supporting the people on the front line. Keep staying together while staying apart. Keep being fearless. And most of all, keep dreaming. American Family Insurance is mailing our personal auto insurance customers a premium relief payment to help them keep going. We'll keep being here when you need us.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
Fortunately for Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin, it's been a quiet week weather-wise. Had a little bit of light snow south of Madison last night, but things will be pretty quiet for the upcoming weekend. But one thing that people often overlook is the potential for flash flooding and what they need to do in the event a flash flood threatens. If you're in a flood-prone area, you need to evacuate as quickly as possible, especially if you're in an area that is subject to flooding. If you're in a car, though, this is very important. Most fatalities that occur in flash floods occur in automobiles. Turn around, don't drown. Don't drive into areas where water is covering the road. It takes about 18 to 24 inches of water to start floating a vehicle, and once that happens, you're going wherever that water is going to take you. So turn around, find another way out rather than trying to drive into that. And then also, don't play or swim in floodwaters. Every year we hear kids being sucked into storm drains or down culverts because of draining water. water, and floods just don't do it. And use caution when you return to flood-damaged buildings because they may be weakened by the flooding that has occurred. Last night, it wasn't flooding. It was snow across parts of southern Iowa into northern Illinois and the Chicago area, down into Indiana and Michigan. And that's actually kept temperatures colder down there. Right now, temperatures are in the 30s over that snow cover. Right now, we're in the upper 40s here in Madison, and a few places out to the west are closer to 50 degrees. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Tomorrow will be sunny and windy with high temperatures back in the upper 50s. Look for quiet weather for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Highs lower 50s Sunday, near 60 for Monday and Tuesday. And then as we head into the latter part of next week, temperatures will be mild with highs in the lower 60s, but there will also be some chances for showers and thunderstorms. The weather pattern in the Pacific Ocean is starting to get more active, so eventually as we head into the latter part of next week, we'll start to see some of that increased storminess. But in the short term, there's no major weather systems out to the west of us, so it looks like we'll stay relatively quiet. As we check out the current weather map, you can see there's high pressure pretty much in control of our weather. Winds right now pretty light out of the west, but as we take a look at future track, you can see those westerly winds will clear out the skies for tonight. See plenty of sunshine for tomorrow, but notice those winds out of the southwest. That'll bring our temperatures up into the upper 50s. A weak cold front brings a few scattered showers tomorrow night. We're back to sunshine on Sunday. High temperatures will be in the lower 50s, and then we're back to southwesterly winds by Monday, and that'll bring temperatures right back up into the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Our forecast for tomorrow calls for a mostly sunny day, but it'll be windy and milder. High temperature close to 60. A few places will probably touch the 60-degree mark. 7 to 10 day forecast, a little cooler for Sunday. Back up to around 60 on Monday. We'll see sunny skies on Tuesday, and then some shower and thunderstorm chances for the second part of next week, but at least temperatures will be back in the lower 60s. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
Grand Appliance and TV is committed to serving our customers and neighbors now, just as we have since 1930. If you need an appliance, we're open, and you can shop our website 24/7. We've expanded our live chat, email, and phone support, and are here for you with an extra 5% off most purchases. Our delivery pros can do a no-contact drop-off delivery or full in-home install. Grand Appliance and TV. You know us, and we know you. You can count on us.
To our Pick and Save associates, for the long hours and late nights, for the miles traveled and the shelves restocked, for making a difference in our customers' lives, for doing so much more than your job. Everyone at the Kroger family of brands and our customers say thank you. In a time when daily life feels a bit uncertain, your hard work is keeping America fed. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Through all the world events since 1936, Culligan Water has continued to provide better, safer water with our filtration systems for homes and businesses. These days, as a designated essential business, Culligan's water professionals are standing by, ready to help.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. As part of your community, we're here to help you during these challenging times.
Keeping your Toyota safe and reliable is important, especially right now. Many of our service centers are open. Schedule service online and drop off and pick up your vehicle with no contact. Need to replace your old vehicle? Most Toyota dealers offer online shopping and will defer your first payment for 90 days.
We're here for you. Contact your local Toyota dealer to see how they can help. Toyota.
From handheld cell phones to high-flying drones, health officials are working to use technology in new ways to keep everyone safe. But are those methods inventive or invasive? Plus, the sun is back, and so are the 60s. Keely and Chris will see you at 5 and 8 Saturday.
In year 2 of the Chris Bono era, there was a lot of good on the mat for Wisconsin wrestling. Dual wins improved, conference record improved, and everybody in the room got better. The head Badger sat down with us and shared his thoughts on the abrupt end of the season and the bright future of his program.
Christensen has Labriola in trouble, and the Badgers get a fall.
There's some hurting guys right now. You know, there's some guys that are still struggling with this, that they're done. They can't compete. Or, you know, you told me, you know, I do all the right things were going to happen. And so it's sad. But I'm trying to instill in them, hey, there's bigger things out there right now with this virus than winning national championships. We all want to win national championships. But you know what? We better make sure we jump on this, and we better make sure that we do our part in helping cure this thing.
How has recruiting changed for you with this?
Just Zoom calling this guy and Zoom calling that guy. And, you know, we spend all morning into our afternoon calls after calls and, you know, with parents and teams and, you know, even other coaches around the country. Hey, let's talk about our schedule face to face. I like it.
You look at the Big Ten, teams come to mind, Penn State, Ohio State, and obviously Iowa. Is Wisconsin, how far away are you guys from, you know, that level of success? And what's it going to take?
When I discussed my 5-year plan with my boss with taking this job, we basically were in year 5, actually in year 2. You know, we were ranked as high as 3rd in the country this year. Now, we weren't ready to win the national championship. We didn't have that kind of team that Iowa had an unbelievable team this year. But we were ranked 3rd in the country. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I could come in here and get this team to be 3rd or 4th in the country in under 2 years. I'm very, very excited for the future. Very, very excited for what the next, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road are about to have, because we're about to have a squad here in the next couple of years.
Obviously, wrestling is a lifestyle, and, you know, there's nothing harder than, you know, stepping out on the mat and wrestling. How does that mindset help in a time like this?
Yeah, so it's very, very important. You know, I think as a wrestler, we've all been in dark places before, whether it's after a loss you shouldn't have taken, or a loss in a very, very important match, or in a practice where you've got your butt kicked, or when you're 5 or 6 pounds over and you don't think you're going to make weight, and then figuring out how to do it. We've all been in very, very dark places. I think this is a very, very dark time. So it's a challenging time, I should say that. And these guys have been challenged, and I think they can persevere through anything. And you know, I'm very optimistic about what our guys can do to get through this time.
And that was only 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We talked for probably 15 to 20 minutes. So
everybody's got a little time on their hands.
Yeah.
Even to talk to the media. They don't mind that. Great to hear from him, and the program's really heading up. Let's go to Gary. Final check of our forecast.
Temperatures are still on the cool side, but not quite as cold as yesterday, and a little milder than they were the day before. So right now, 48 degrees in Madison, a little cooler near Lake Michigan. Temperatures around 50 out toward Boscobel. For tomorrow, look for bright sunny skies, but it'll be windy. Milder, though. High temperatures up near 60 degrees. And then look for a little cool down for Sunday. Temperatures back into the 60s next week with some shower and thunderstorm chances about the second half of next week.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6. We'll be back here tonight at 10. Have a great evening. Take care.